Hello everybody, welcome to Kukoon Yoga. I am Selena and we are here today to do prenatal yoga, but really it can be for anybody. So if you have any other adults in the house, roll out a mat for them and get comfortable into some nice comfy pants. I also want you to be prepared with some sort of prop or bolster like this. Now I just am using a pillow from my couch, and you can have a folded up blanket as well. Something where you can help to fill space, help to come to sit up high through this hero position, okay? And we're gonna start like that. So again, whatever that looks like for you, it could be a rolled up towel or blanket, many rolled up blankets, or just simply a pillow from your bed. All right, so we're gonna start in hero. So bringing the cushions lengthways down your mat. And then I've got my feet behind me. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay here. If it's not, sweep your legs around and come to sit in this tall position. Essentially what we want is for you to be in a tall seat. So where you can roll your pelvis here forward and stack your ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. So we just want to make sure there's no rounding in the spine. So get comfortable in whatever position that is for you. And really remember that my cues throughout this class are just suggestions. And so you can take them or leave them. If something doesn't feel good for you, don't do it or modify. Or you can send me a message afterwards for an alternate position as well. Okay? I'll try and give lots of options as well to make sure everybody's comfortable. So when you're ready, you can sit up in your nice tall seat and close your eyes. Tuck your chin just an inch towards your chest. And imagine that beam of light shooting up through the crown of your head, giving you height and opening through the vertebrae. Allowing your rib cage to really open and expand with each cycle of breath. And then of course, when we close our eyes, it helps us to focus inward. And that's all we're doing right now. So if you have distraction around you in your home space, that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be 100% distraction free. Just simply close your eyes and accept all the noises and distractions that might be around you. Keep breathing. And then let them go. So it's simply about accepting and letting go. Find that nice easy rhythm in your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose if that's available to you. If it's not available, then open your mouth. Just find a rhythm to your breath, making sure each inhale and each exhale are complete, are full, are abundant. And holding on to that rhythm now, with your eyes still closed, I want you to roll them into this spot called your third eye, right into the center of your forehead. Roll your eyes there and hold focus. This can be a very powerful tool to help keep your focus inside. And that's all meditation is. Just helping to train your brain to stay still, to stay right here on the present, to focus inward. It's all prep for your birth as well. And one way or one thing that you can focus on that's always with you is your breath. So keep holding that third eye, staying right here, right now in the present. Keep that big breath moving in through your belly, finding that peace, finding that calm, finding that ease within your physical body. melting. Beautiful. And to end here, centering, we're going to take 3 big out breaths. So with pursed lips, kind of like you're blowing a feather. Take a big inhale through your nose. 2 more. And last one. Good. And we're going to get right into our connection breath. So remember, this is a pranayama breathing exercise that we're using to connect our Mula Bandha, our pelvic floor muscles, and our Uddiyana Bandha, our core, transversus abdominis, right deep down inside, right on top of your pubic bone. Okay, so it looks like a big inhale to swell your belly, just like we were doing. Swell sideways through your rib cage. And then on your exhale, draining the air out and starting to lift your bits up. And so if you're sitting hero over the bolster, you can get that feedback with your bits, that gentle compression here, as you start to lift the bits up and up and up on the exhale. At the end of your exhale, so on 5, I'm going to say hug, and I want you to draw your lower belly, so your Uddiyana Bandha, this part right below, baby, right above your pubic bone. I want you to hug it in just 10%. So you won't really feel your belly move. You won't really feel the hug. Just give it a gentle integration. It's almost as if you had a string attached to your 2 hip joints and you're kind of imagining cinching that string closed. That's the sensation that we want you to connect to at the end of your exhale on 5. All right, so let's try together. We're gonna do 3 guided together and then 3 on your own. So let's bring hands to lower belly, just so we kind of get a little bit of feedback about where we're connecting to here. Sitting up nice and tall, close your eyes and start to push all the air out of your lungs. Good, now start your slow inhale. 5, 4, releasing your bits. 2, 1, and exhale. Now lift to 5, 2. Lift your bits up like you're sipping a milkshake. Up, 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 and hug. There's your connection. Inhale, expand, let it all go. Remember this sideways breathing. 4, 5, and exhale, lift. 2, 3, 4, and hug. Feel that connection here? Good, last one, guided, inhale, open and soften, release, feel the heaviness into your pillow. 5, and exhale, lift. 2, 3, 4, and cinch. 3 more just like that at your own pace. Don't worry about counting the breath out, just make sure it's to completion. Inhale, open and soften, and then your exhale will be to lift and then hug or integrate. Lovely, good. When you're finished, release, release. Take your time finishing up though. You're still with me? Okay. We're gonna peel our way off of our pillow or prop. You can just put it out to the side for now. And then come to sit on your bum. All right, so scooping the left leg underneath the right, sitting up nice and tall into easy pose, Sukhasana. Okay, so feel your sits bones equally rooting down either side. And then walking your right hand to the right, inhale, open, lift and lengthen right up to the sky. And then exhale, find a side stretch. So it does not matter how deep you're coming here. Just make sure both sit bones are equally rooted and that your heart is shining up towards the sky. Big side stretch, opening up through the rib cage, feeling that side body open. Settle your shoulder down away from your ears. On your inhale, slowly come up, crossing over, grab a hold of your right knee now and anchor yourself there. Inhale, right hand goes up, side stretch as you find that sweet exhale. Sail your way down to that spot that feels good for you. Whatever spot that is. Yes. And then slowly coming back up, crossing over, grabbing a hold of both knees. And so if you need to tuck your knees in closer towards one another, you can. And round out. Really round your spine like that cat pose and tuck your chin to your chest. Hang heavy. Feels good. And slowly raising back up. Unwind your arms, tense your fingers behind you and find a heart lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades like they're kissing your spine. Lift your heart up, up, up. And come back into center. Okay, scooping opposite leg under now. So right leg scoops under. Easy pose. And then walking the left hand out, plant your palm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side stretch. Good. You feel that opening through your rib cage, that expansion through your side body. Make sure your shoulder hasn't crept up to your ear. Make sure your heart is up towards the sky and that you're still in a shape and a position that you can breathe in. That's really important. If you're finding you can't get a breath in, maybe you're too deep, that's okay. Inhale, come back up and then crossing over, grab a hold of that left knee. Inhale, left hand goes up. And exhale, find your side stretch. Make sure you're anchored in your roots, anchored on your knee, and slowly rise. Crossing your arm over now, grabbing both knees round out. Yes. Tuck your chin in, let your head hang. See if you can let all tension go in your neck. And slowly come up. Find your little heart lift, your little counter pose here. Squeeze your shoulder blades. And coming to sit up nice and tall. All right. Bring your legs out in front of you for staff pose, just to set yourself, remove the flesh, give the legs a little shake out. And then we're gonna bend into the left knee, and I'm just gonna move my leg to the side so you can see here. We're gonna do our rock star flow. Now, for those of you who don't wanna lift the bum up into a big side stretch, then don't. Just keep your bum on the ground. That's totally cool. You can just come into your side stretch by leaning into your left hand. And then we're gonna exhale and come forward for that rainbow arm over the body, heart shining up. All right, so plant your left hand behind you. Inhale, side stretch. Big side stretch, opening up the side body, feels beautiful. Settle down, exhale. We're gonna rainbow the arm over the head and ear. And slowly come up. So just keep flowing. So you're inhaling to rise, following your breath up. Encouraging that breath to guide you. Not moving with me, not moving in sync at all. In fact, if your breath rate is different than mine, I encourage you to follow that instead. Find that rhythm. Yeah. I'm gonna do 2 more. And then on your last cycle, coming up to sit in your tall seat. Take your time getting there. There's always time and space to catch up to us. We're gonna switch sides. So drawing your right foot into the side of your leg, and then right hand behind you. Just determine if you wanna raise your bum up or not. And then inhale, find that side body stretch. Slowly moving down. Encouraging that slow rhythm of breath. Making sure your breath is moving through you with abundance. To completion. Yeah. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Again, closing your eyes helps block 30% of distraction to the brain, and so helping to keep you focused inward. Doing 2 more cycles. And then on your last cycle, just finding that tall seat as you inhale up. Yes. Good. Okay. Taking your feet together. Coming into bound angle now. So determining where you want to place your feet here, what's comfortable for you. The closer your heels are into your sits bones, the more of an inner leg stretch you'll get. And the further out they are, the more of an outer leg stretch. So I just want you to find your comfort zone. You can bob your knees and let them be tension free in the hips there. Yeah. All right. Coming in through stillness. Arms by your sides. Inhale, lift and lengthen all the way up overhead. Nice tall seat, and then exhale, gentle twist towards the left, tapping your fingers down front to back, and keep this tall, tall spine here. Inhale, come right back through center. And then we're gonna go to the opposite side, exhale down. So if you're finding it a bit of a challenge for you to keep this nice tall seat, then pull in a prop or a pillow or something underneath your sits bones, and then that will allow your pelvis to spill forward and give you this tall seat, all right? Keep flowing. Flow means you're just moving with your breath. So keep moving, finding that rhythm. That rhythm that speaks to you right now. We're going to do 1 more to either side, ending on the right for balance. And then on your exhale, you can bring it right down the center. Good. Okay, taking the knees together. Sweep the feet around and behind. We're gonna come forward into tabletop. So remember, tabletop can give a lot of soreness in the wrists. And so always encourage you to listen to your body. Got a Jasper hair up my nose. And either come onto fists, straightening the wrist creases out. Or again, you can pull in your props if you want to and come down onto forearms here. We're just gonna do some pelvic circles, some circles with the hips. So whatever feels good for you. I invite you to close your eyes as you start to loop around and around. Try and get movement in your spine as you're doing these big, big pelvic circles. You can kind of imagine like you've got crayons attached to your sits bones and you're drawing on the wall behind you. And really root up, push up through your heart center up towards the sky. Nice, big, slow circles, moving in a way that feels good, that feels beautiful to you right now. And hey, if this isn't the movement that feels beautiful to you right now, then you don't have to do it. Modify. You can just come into a simple cat-cow as well. Let's do 2 more in this direction. And then we'll take it into the opposite direction when you're ready. Okay. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Remember, you're following your own body's cues and rhythm and energy. Good. 2 more cycles around. Nice big abundant breath. And then when you're done, coming back in to table in through your center. Lovely. Okay, we're gonna walk back, and come up to kneeling. Now, if you're on a hard floor, I'm on a cushy carpet, so if you're on a hard floor, you can double up your mat, or again, use your blanket, pull it in underneath your knees, okay? So if your knee joints are giving you trouble, then make sure you're cushioning them if you need to. All right, bring your arms out wide like a T. Palms facing the ground. Settle your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, draw left ear to left shoulder. So, checking in with the breath. Can you still feel that moving through you? If you can't, maybe it's the sensation's a little too strong, and so come out a little bit. Settle your shoulder blades down your back. Have the shoulders crept up. Generally, when there's a big sensation through the body, certain areas of your body, those trigger spots will start to tighten up. And so just do a quick scan through, noticing where those spots are. In the jaw. Maybe you're scrunching your eyebrows. Let your head hang as heavy as possible here. And then for this last breath cycle, rotate into the right hand. Juicy, 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 juicy. Yeah, good. Okay, inhale to rise, and then exhale, drop right ear to right shoulder. I'm not doing an active meditation today, so this is kind of it for you. So I know the shoulders, you're probably feeling that fire, that energy moving there. I want you to breathe into where you're feeling the resistance and the challenge. Do a quick scan. Notice where those trigger spots are for you. Scan through your bits as well. Can you let go down there? And notice where you're feeling the sensation. Is the sensation moving down your chest and back, or is it localized to the shoulder and neck? And then for this last breath cycle, you can pivot in to the arm on the left side, rotating the hand. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Okay, on your inhale, coming back up, exhale, release those arms down. Curl your toes under, take your knees a little wider than your hips, and we're gonna ragdoll to stand. So always making sure you're squatting to stand, avoiding that lunge to get up. And ragdoll means you're hanging heavy. Arms are heavy, head is heavy, knees are soft as you come all the way up to stand. Okay, so I'm gonna come into the middle of my mat now. Taking my hips a little wider than my heels a little wider than my hips, plie your toes out just to get a nice wide foundation. We're gonna come through our squat flow. And so maybe we're just gonna come as deep as a half squat today. Okay, so bringing the hands to the knees, and then it's like that angry cow back as you round and ragdoll up to then flow again. So just working with half squat today. You can sink your bum down as low as you want though. But we're gonna incorporate that connection breath that we did at the beginning of class, that pranayama, where when we inhaled, we released our bits. So we let it go. And then when we exhale, the air is draining out, we lift the bits up and up and up. So strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. Okay, now it's going to be kind of counterintuitive movement because we're going to be going up and down through our squat flow as we're moving with this breath. And so it might take a few cycles to kind of get that rhythm. So let's start, arms by your sides. As you inhale, reach up overhead and release your bits. Let it be heavy in between your sits bones. Exhale, shoot your bum back, and now lift the bits up as you descend. Yeah? Now, inhale, round, release the bits, ragdoll up. Keep flowing. As you exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Yes. So speed up and slow down your movement as much as you need to match the rate of your breath. As you ascend, you're releasing your pelvic floor. As you descend down, you're lifting it up. Takes a bit of getting used to. It's counterintuitive, I know. The more we can train our pelvic floor and our bits to move and function like this with our breath, the easier it will be to help get that optimal functioning, especially after having a baby. You want to still be able to jump on trampolines and not have to go to the bathroom before you leave the house every day. Okay, so 3 more cycles. Remember, as you inhale, you're releasing your bits. As you exhale, descending down, you're lifting them. Following your rate, your rhythm. I think this is the last one. So finishing up your final cycle. Good. Yes. Okay, good. Coming to the top-ish of your mat. Gonna come into mountain pose now. So stacking your heels right below your hips, feet parallel like they're on train tracks. Now remember, mountain pose has like 23 cues, but the essential ones for you to remember are stack your ears over your shoulders over your hips over your heels, integrate all four corners of your feet into the ground, all four corners. And then this is really important. I do it all the time. I tuck my tail. I want you to blossom your bum, blossom your sits bones. Chin is parallel to the floor. Palms facing open to help open up the front, the heart center. And then take 3 big out breaths here. So you can close your eyes to do this. Big inhale, like you're blowing a feather. And then opening your eyes. All right, we're gonna move very slowly through this next little flow. We're gonna come down into chair, but first we're gonna start to inhale our arms up overhead for extended mountain. And as we do this, slowly rising up on our tippy toes, on our toe mounds. Yeah? And then slowly descend back down. Start to sit your bum back, sitting into chair. And then sweep your arms back into full rotation behind you. Check all four corners of your feet are rooted. Inhale, sweep right back up through chair and right back up into extended mountain, coming up on your toe mounds. Go slow. Exhale. Four corners integrated into the floor. Inhale, this is your flow, so just move with your breath. Good. If you fall out of this balance at the top, that's okay. Yoga is meant to teach us humility. This is a good thing. Just follow your rate, join back in, take a breath, take a sip of water. We're gonna do one more cycle. Right up. And then meet back up in mountain at the top of your mat. You can take your hands to your hips. All right, from the side view, take a giant step back with the right leg. Big, big step back. We're coming into warrior two. So my back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Front foot facing forward and belly is facing the side of your mat. Inhale, open your arms front to back, and then exhale, settle into your front knee, stacking it right over top of the heel. You can see I'm adjusting my foot on the front foot just to make sure everything's stacked, and I can see my big toe. Good. So we're gonna settle into warrior two. Remember that beautiful cue, hug your legs towards the center line as if you're on a sheet of ice and would do the splits. So hug the bones of your legs towards one another, and you'll connect to your core, strengthening it and giving you stability here as we flow through warrior two. So we're gonna flow into a little side stretch here. So moving through it slowly with me until you get the feel for it, moving with your breath. All right, so as you inhale, straighten your front leg, take your front arm and sweep it back around, kind of like you're making these parallel arms, sweeping towards the back. Inhale, right back through center. And then you can exhale and sweep. Yeah. Inhale, warrior two, gaze over your first two finger, nice strong pose. Exhale, side stretch. Okay, so keep moving, keep flowing in a way that works for you right now, right here, celebrating where you're at. Yeah. Keep your breath flowing. We're gonna do one more. Keep that integration between your legs. And then meeting back up in warrior two. Take a pause here. Find that power. Take your hands to your hips. All right, pivot on your heels to face the side of your mat. Yeah, facing the side of your mat. And then plie your toes out to the outer corners. All right, see this nice neutral spine that you have as you're standing here? You can maintain that as you take a squat down. Now I'm adjusting my feet so that my knees are stacked right over top of my heels, so that my toes and my knees are going in the same direction. This doesn't have to be a super deep squat. In fact, it's really hard to integrate your legs towards one another when you're really, really deep. So I encourage you just to find a spot that feels good, where you can gently hug the bones towards one another. And then when you're ready, arms up overhead and settle your shoulder blades down your back. This is horse pose, very strong pose. All right, so we're gonna flow through horse into skater. And again, it might take a few rounds to kind of find your rhythm. So moving slowly. We're gonna move towards the right side first. So moving your arms slowly towards the right, straighten your left leg. Kind of find this side lunge, like a skater in the Olympics, yeah? And slowly coming back through horse, back through center. Okay, moving towards the left side now. Skater, straighten the right leg. And in through horse. Okay, so that fire, you're probably already starting to feel it, starting to build up in your foundation. Keep breathing. Send your energy to that spot, to that restraint, to that challenge in your body. Inhale to rise, exhale to sweep to the side, or just do whatever feels good. Staying nice and low, I'm gonna challenge you here. Yes. Okay, we're doing one more to either side, ending with your sweep towards the left. Meeting back up in skater. Horse pose. And then straighten your legs, hands on your hips. Oh, give those hips a little circle out. That was fiery. It was good though. Accepting that challenge, accepting that fire. We're gonna get right back into it in a second here. Okay, one more big circle around and come right back into your squat. Okay, good. So taking the hands to the inside of your thighs now. We're gonna inhale and kind of come in through a cat-cow. So spill your belly forward into this bowl here, into the center. Look up, settle your shoulders. And then exhale, round your spine. Tuck your tail towards the floor and see if you can drop your head, making a arc with your back. Inhale to rise. And then exhale to round. So staying low, encouraging that strength through your foundation, encouraging your breath to feed, to help nourish those muscles, those tired muscles. We're doing 2 more cycles, making sure your trigger spots in your body aren't holding on to stress anywhere, that you're really letting go as much as possible, anywhere that does not serve you. Good. And then coming back up through center with your hands to your hips. Pivot your front foot forward. You're gonna hop that back foot up to meet it at the top and give yourself a little shake, 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 shake. Beautiful, good, hey? Feels good? Ready for the other side? Okay, find your mountain and let's do 3 big out breaths. So we've been exploring that pursed lips like you're blowing a feather. Why don't we do waterfall breath? Shh. Okay, so arms by your sides, close your eyes, big inhale. One more. Lovely. Steady your breath and open your eyes. All right, so those nice strong mountain legs are stacked right beneath you, all four corners of the feet rooting in to the ground. As you inhale, sweep your arms up overhead and come up high to your toe mounds. Exhale, slowly sinking back, root all four corners of your feet into the floor and chair. Sweep your arms back around and then inhale to rise on your toe mounds. Exhale, sweep. Beauty. Check in with your breath. Is it still with you? Is it still present? Remember, your breath is your number one anchor, your number one go-to to help you find that peace and calm. If you find you're starting to fade away and you're starting to kind of go into that flight mode, your breath is there for you always. Nice, strong out breaths whenever you need them. Also help encourage the muscles to keep going. We're gonna do one more. And then meeting back up in mountain when you're done. Okay, taking your hands to your hips. I'm showing you the side view here from the other side. Take a giant step back with the left leg. So coming into those warrior two lunge. Back foot parallel to the back of your mat, belly facing the side of your mat. Inhale, open up front to back, and then exhale, settle into your front knee. Adjust if you need to, okay? And once you've found that sweet spot, hug your legs towards one another and really try and keep that connection, that integration. Can you settle your shoulders down a little bit? Usually they tend to creep up here. Settle them down, reach your fingers out and then plug the shoulders into your sockets, gazing over your first two fingers. When you're ready, starting your flow. So taking a big inhale to start. And then exhale, straightening your front leg and sweeping around behind towards your back foot. Nice reach. And slowly coming forward back into your warrior two. Keep flowing, keep moving. Don't worry too much about what the breath is doing. Just make sure it's present, make sure it's there with you always. And then of course, making sure that this movement, this position that you're going into feels good for you. Modify if you need to modify. And let's do one more. Meeting back up in warrior two when you're done. Yeah. Beauty. From warrior two, take your hands to your hips, pivot on your heels, facing the side of your mat once again. Plie your toes out. Keep that nice neutral spine as you take a squat gently down towards the floor. Okay, so again, your pelvic bowl here, you don't want it spilled too far forward. So if the bowl was filled with water, you don't want water spilling out the front of your bowl. You don't want water spilling out the back, and so you're rounding your spine too much. You just want to find this neutral spot, which is usually when you're standing. Okay, so find that neutral spot. Inhale, draw your arms up overhead for horse. Settle your shoulder blades, reach your fingers up tall. Keep breathing. And then we're gonna slowly start to move into skater, starting to move to the right. And then inhale, right back up through center. Exhale towards the left into skater. Straighten your right leg. And keep going. Make sure your breath is present. Kind of like you're moving through molasses. It's not an expedited movement. It's very conscious, very aware, very present. Noticing what you're feeling physically, emotionally, mentally. Welcoming it all. I'm gonna do one more to either side. Ending with the left. sweeping towards the left. Good. And back through horse in the center. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get right into that cat-cow with the spine. So staying low, fingers on the inside of the knees or the legs. And inhale, raise your heart up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tail, drop your head. Inhale, keep flowing. Remember your pelvic bowl, trying to get as much movement through the pelvis as possible, spilling it forward and back, exaggerating the movement. One more flow. And coming back up through center. Hands to your hips. Pivot on your front foot, face it forward. And then hop that back foot up to meet it and give a little shake, shake. Okay, so I'm feeling that fire in me, and I'm assuming you're feeling it in you too. Let's just maintain that for a little bit here and do some sumo squats. So if you feel like you need to come sideways on your mat to stay on your mat, it's a big wide squat, and or come off your mat, you can do that too. I just don't want you to feel like you're gonna slip at all. So it looks like this. Join in when you're ready. It does involve some degree of balance here, and again, if you fall out of that balance and you need to jump back in later, that's okay. This is okay. It's good practice again for mommyhood. Just go and rolling with the punches. All right, so it looks like this. I'm gonna root all four corners of my left foot into the ground and raise my right knee up as high as I possibly can. Doesn't have to be this high, just as high as you want. And then silently, like a ninja, stepping down silently helps connect to the core so you're not clomping down. Bringing the hands to the knees, squat down as low as you want to. And then opposite side, putting the weight into the right foot, all four corners. Knee comes up as high as you can. And then slowly, silently, like there's a marshmallow on your feet, step down. Okay, so these are sumo squats. Keep flowing, keep moving, keep that breath flowing. Remember those out breaths. Shh. Whenever you need it. Practice that vocalization now. Because if you don't use it for your birth, you definitely will use it in mommyhood. Even if that's just an escape into your bathroom to do some out breaths. Yeah. And we'll do one more to either side, finishing on the right. No, finishing on the left, sorry. Yep. Good. And then coming back up into mountain at maybe the middle of your mat in the midline. Give it a little shake out. Okay, this time in our mountain, we're gonna take our heels a little wider than our hips so that when we do come down into this bow squat that we're gonna do, which we won't stay there long, it's a flow. When we do come down, you make space for your baby if belly's more bountiful, that you're making space to come down into this area, okay? So take your feet as wide as you need to do that. I'm gonna show you from the side angle, okay? Starting here in mountain, hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra at your chest, standing up nice and tall, remembering all your cues. Breathe, 3 big out breaths. Good, and then steady that breath. All right, when you're ready, starting to open up your arms wide. And then as you exhale, sweeping your arms down, sitting back through chair all the way down into a squat. Reach your arms up to the sky, and then exhale, bow down. Let your head hang. Inhale, press into your hands, start to raise your bum up, just your bum into a forward fold. And then from here, we're gonna slide the left hand down into the center line. And if you need to, bend your knees as much as you want here to reach for the floor. And then inhale, open up the right arm to the sky. As you open up the right arm to the sky, I want you to bend into the left knee and straighten the right leg as much as possible. So bend left knee, straighten right leg. Open, 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 big juicy stretch. And slowly release down. Replacing that left hand with the right. You can tent the hand too if you want to. Inhale, open the left arm up to the sky. And as you do that, bend into the right knee. Straighten the left leg. Bend the right. Straighten the left. Twist, 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 opening. And slowly come down. Let the head hang, arms hang. Ragdoll up with nice soft knees. Really soft knees here. Head is heavy till the end. Coming all the way up, up, and up. Good. Okay. Give it a little shake if you need it. I'm going to come to the back of the mat now, and we're going to make our way down onto the floor, onto tabletop. So as we do that, always coming up off the floor through squat, getting down to the floor through squat. So I just like to do a genie squat down, coming to table. Yeah, good. And then coming up from table, coming up to kneeling. So flip over, double up your mat, and cushion your knees if you need to here. We're going to do our kneeling sun salutation. So take your knees a little wider than your hips, untuck your toes and bring them together to touch behind, so as they're kissing behind your big toes. Good, arms by your side, palms facing open, heart lift. And then as you inhale, take your arms up overhead. And then exhale, wide knee child's pose. So bow down in between your knees, let your head hang, let it bow towards the ground. And then inhale, pressing into the palms, take a gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, stack fist on fist, coming down for puppy dog, bum is up in the air. Give it a little breath, wag here, wag your tail. Beautiful. And then planting your palms into the ground once again. Gaze up for cow. And as you exhale, settle back for wide knee child's pose. On your inhale, ragdoll up. So let your arms drag. Let your head be heavy as you come all the way up back into your kneeling position. Up at the top, arms by your sides, palms facing open. Good. Let's do that one more time. When you're ready, inhale, open. Exhale, bow. Inhale for cow. And then exhale for puppy dog. Take a breath here, in and out. Wag your tail. Inhale, come back up through cow. And exhale, bow back for child's pose. Then on your inhale, ragdoll up and up and up. Remember that head is the last to stack on top of your shoulders. Beautiful. Okay, making your way down onto your bum now in whatever graceful way you can get there. Coming to sit on your mat, legs extended out long in staff pose, in Dandasana. So you know I like to get you into this pose because this really helps us, anchor ourselves for any future seated pose, but also it helps to connect to that core, which I talk a lot about. It's really important to help build that mummy strong center. So making an L shape with your body, sitting up nice and tall, stack your ears over your shoulders over your hips, and then your pelvis here, remember, as if it was filled with water. You don't want that water spilling out the back of your pelvis, so your spine rounded. You don't want it spilled too far forward. You want it up, neutral position, making a 90 degree here at the hip. Okay, and then from there, staying up nice and tall, take your hands to your belly, your six-pack area, and I want you to put 3 big breaths into that belly while still sitting up tall. So you're disconnecting your core, your transversus, with your rectus abdominis, which is your six-pack area. Expand your six-pack area, open it up. It shouldn't be contracted here to sit up tall. Just your core is contracted to give you this length and height in your seat. So if you could try and feel your belly, push the breath into your belly, your six-pack area, and feel it retract. You're kind of disconnecting the two. Now the six-pack will always want to take over because it's stronger for most of us. It is the bigger muscle. But we're just saying, nope, turning you off, turning the core on, and finding that mummy center, that mummy strong. Good? Okay. Awesome. Bending into the left knee now, flex the left foot and place it on top of the right thigh. So we're coming into seated figure 4, but just check in first right here. How does this feel? You can tent your fingers behind you if you want to give you this nice tall seat. Are you feeling a big juicy sensation in through the left side and just want to stay here? You can. Otherwise, you can rest into your hands and bend into your right knee. Bend, bend, bend until you find that sweet spot. And for me, that's about here. I'm like, yeah, that's feeling good for me. When you find that sweet center, then lift your heart and open your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades to kiss your spine. Check in with your breath. Can you still take a breath? For if you can't, then this pose, you may be a little too deep into it. So just come out a little bit because we really have to honor where we're at. So if you're pregnant, especially in the later stages, you know that baby and belly are growing rapidly at this stage and things change fast from week to week. So making sure that you're honoring and truly, truly celebrating those changes. Checking in constantly. How is this feeling now? Can I breathe? Am I grinning and bearing to get through? One more breath. Remember those out breaths? Always available. And then slowly, slowly releasing down and extend that left leg long. Shake it out. Opposite side. Set yourself, grounding, rooting. Bend into the right knee, plant it on top of the left leg, keeping that foot nice and flexed. And check in here. How does this feel? Do we want to stay here? Do we want to juicify it a bit by resting back onto the hands and bend into your left knee? Seated figure 4, find that sweet spot for you. When you find that, lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Checking in with your trigger points. Going straight to them right away to just see if you can find a little bit of release, a little bit of softening, melting. Finding one more breath, make it strong, make it abundant. Yes. And slowly starting to straighten that left leg and extend your right. Let's do a little windshield wiper. Take your feet nice and wide and windshield wipe side to side, dropping the knees down. All right, our final pose before Shavasana. So coming up nice and tall, bring the feet together into bound angle. I find this is an easier starting point to come into these 90-degree angle legs. Okay, so we're gonna rotate the left foot behind us now. Keep the right leg where it is, and the left foot goes behind. Flex 90 degree at the back heel, 90 degree at the left knee, 90 degree at the right knee, and then 90 degree at the right heel. Essentially, your right calf and your left thigh should be going in the same direction, parallel, like train tracks. Okay, so situate yourself And my left sit bone comes up, but there's no way my sit bone can get down. That's just me. That's okay if yours lifts up. Plant your right hand behind you into the floor to support you here. And then I like to just plant my left hand on my hip, or you can grab a hold of the fleshy part of your thigh if you want to. And we're just gonna start to gently twist around towards the right, keeping that height, that length in through your spine, and then settling back forward. All right, so inhale, gently turn. And then your exhale will take you back forward. Don't have to follow my rate, follow your rhythm. Just stay nice and tall in your seat. One more. Good. All right, come back through center, and we're gonna bring that leg around into bound angle. Give the knees a little bob, 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 bob. And now looping the right foot around behind you. 90 degrees at all your joints, checking it out. Your left calf and your right thigh going in parallel. Same direction, like train tracks. And then take your left hand behind you, right hand on your hip. Inhale, a gentle turn around. Then your exhale, come back and forward. So you keep going with your breath. Notice if distraction is entering into your space here. Just notice it. Let it go. Refocus back on your breath, back on your body. Last cycle around. And then settle your right sit bone back and gently taking that foot back and around. Give the legs one more bob out. And we're gonna prepare for Shavasana. So I encourage you to grab your props here. If you have a couch nearby or a bed, then feel free to take yourself there. There's no reason that you have to do Shavasana on the ground. The only reason we do it is in a yoga studio. We don't have access to a bed in a comfortable spot. But please make yourself comfortable. And if that's not in recline, lying down on your mat, then sit up. You can do Shavasana in a seat as well. Anywhere where you can find complete comfort for around 5 minutes. So again, pulling in your props if you want to. Just making sure that if you are pregnant, you're not doing that reverse sit-up to get down, to contract your six-pack muscles, okay? Making sure you're rolling onto your side and then using your arms to make your way down. We don't want to exacerbate or make diastasis, this weakening of the integrity of the center line, any worse during pregnancy. And so being mindful of those movements that contract the abdominals, whether you're getting up from the floor or getting down onto the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna stay seated, but I encourage you to get comfortable, okay? Get in a place, in a zone where you could potentially close your eyes. Where you can get grounded, feeling heavy on your mat, either on your seat or in recline, whatever. And then start to access that big, abundant breath right into your belly. When you belly breathe, you encourage the feelings of calm and peacefulness inward versus when you're chest breathing. So belly breathe, feeling the belly expand and retract with each cycle. And ensuring that as we move into Shavasana, into this very, 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 very challenging pose, because it involves stilling your mind, which is challenging to do, we move into it with a sense of compassion for yourself. It's similar to training a puppy, training your brain to stay still. And you would always treat a puppy with compassion and kindness. And so Moving into it without any expectation of what you should or shouldn't be feeling. With an open mind, allowing any positive and negative, so the good, the bad, and the ugly, to enter in. So those thoughts and emotions, allowing it all to come in. And just imagining you're sitting in the corner of your mind's eye, watching these thoughts pass like they're on a train, if you're a visual person. Watch them passing, and then watch them exit. Once you feel like you have that rhythm, you have that inward focus, I'm going to start to body scan. This is one of my favorite tools for helping to focus inward. So starting from your third eye, from the center of your forehead, take your attention there. Notice if there is any tension or anywhere that you can soften in and around the forehead. You can imagine a burning candle and wax dripping down that candle. You can imagine that wax is softening and releasing any stress in the muscles. And scanning down through your scalp in the back of your head. Melting those muscles in your face, spending a lot of time in your face as we do hold a lot of tension there. And so oftentimes it's totally, you are unaware of the tension that's being held. And so take your awareness to all these little spots, all these little pockets within you that you can explore, like around the eye sockets and in behind the eyeballs. Find any softening there through your jaw and tongue. Can you let that tongue hang heavy? What about through your temples, down your cheeks? You can imagine that candle wax dripping down the sides of your neck and through your throat. Melting, softening all the tension, all the stress everywhere that's clinging, that's tight. Melting it. Keep scanning down through your shoulders, down your arms, around your elbows, allowing them to be heavy, grounded, like a magnet is drawing them towards the earth. Scanning further down your forearms and over the backs of your hands and through your palm. Melting, softening each fingertip. Imagine putting them to sleep at rest. And continuing your scan through your chest, through your heart center, and back behind through your shoulder blades. That scan or that melt continues through your abdomen, through your belly. Allow all the muscles in your belly to really soften and melt, encouraging this space. This opening through your pelvis and all the little tendons and ligaments, through your joints of your hips to soften and let go. Feeling heavy, feeling grounded here as you continue exploring down your legs, through your thigh muscles, front to back, down and around your kneecaps, allowing that sensation like a magnet, drawing them towards the earth, melting through your calves, through these muscles that hold so much of us throughout the day, that cling to stress. Explore deep within these muscles, softening and releasing. Scanning through your foot, and the top of your foot, and underneath on the sole of your foot through the arches and down to each toe. Putting each one to sleep. And as you finish your scan, taking your attention outside of your body now and really noticing what it is you are feeling. Allowing it all to seep in, the good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful. It is all welcome here. Taking 3 more slow, nourishing breaths. Filling every pocket within you with light, with beautiful prana, that energy source. And then returning back into your body. Start to find slight movement in your fingers and toes. Maybe scrunching up your nose, and you can gently move into your arms and legs, maybe rolling your head. Rolling on to your side, very slowly, very mindfully. And from there, using your strong arm muscles to ragdoll your way up, 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 up into a tall seat. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Thank you everybody for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed your class. We will be releasing more content each week, so feel free to tune into this channel or just jump onto our website at cocoonyoga.com. I look forward to seeing you soon.